I guess you would call me the creative director of this. I kind of do all the major designing or push people in the right direction on making the mosaic art. I was from Washington State, and then I lived in Oregon for a few years, and then came back to Washington State and met my husband there. And then my oldest son was actually a figure skater, and his coach moved over and said, "Would you be willing to move to New York?" And we said, "That sounds like an adventure, let's do it." With my son skating, I started working on set design, and my daughter dancing. I started making a lot of theater sets, and the dance company actually sent me to a very intensive internship for set design in Catskills with Cobalt Studios. And so I started learning how to do that and started making great big theater designs. And then I got into wall finishes and doing mural work, and that's kind of what I ended up doing. When we moved into this building, they asked me to do the mural work upstairs. Mike is just really good at encouraging you to do things. He also sees things he wants done and is really good at finding people to do them. There was a meeting about the neighborhood, and they said one of the problems was litter. And so they were looking for something creative to do with trash receptacles. And I always tend to say, why don't we do this? And so we ended up making 6 mosaic trash cans. And from there, people started saying, we want them too. And Mike was looking for a social enterprise where he could employ people. And from there, this has happened. It wasn't anything expected. It wasn't anything that this is going to be my job someday, you know. I love watching the people that work here develop and find things about themselves they didn't know they could do. Yeah, the artisans' lives have been transformed through the mosaic work. So many people say, I'm not creative, and I go, yes, you are, you just don't know. You forgot that little child that could, you know, play in the mud or have the imagination, and you just assumed that being creative means you're going to be, you know, Michelangelo, and it doesn't mean that. It comes out of everybody. I believe everybody's creative. I don't think anybody isn't. I think people have forgotten how, and I think that the creativity can come out in different forms. You can be a creative math professor as well as just being someone who draws a picture. So I was in kind of a bad place. I had had gone through a really tough time that was very confusing to me and my identity as who I thought I was as a person. It was questioned through this whole situation. And the mosaics, there's the act of just putting them together that is very soothing, kind of like doing a puzzle with no pattern. And then, because I was broken, it was a whole thing of taking that brokenness and saying it can change, that even though you're in this place right now that's really dark and you don't know what's going to happen, that can change for you. It can become something else. And so the mosaics are part of my personal journey too, of just broken pieces being put back together into something different and something that is not what you expected. I am very proud of the work that I am doing here. For Oneida Square Public Art and Design, I hope the future brings more work, that people see what we can do, that there's so many options to what we have. The best thing about this environment is that people are where they are now, and it's not their past that defines them, it's their future.